morning. And yes, it feels like fall. Happy fall, y'all. As you've seen from my thumbnail, it's cool here again this morning, so I thought what a wonderful morning to make some homemade chili. And I'm going to make some cornbread in my cast iron skillet this morning. And I'm not making the cornbread from scratch. I'm still rotating through my large freezer and pulling everything out. So I want to use up the Jiffy mix that I have in my freezer and try and get all of this stuff underway here. So anyway, this morning I'm going to make some chili and I'm going to make some cornbread in the cast iron skillet. So it's a cool morning. Feels like a fall day. Feels like a chilly day to me. And you're going to hear my puppies in the background. This is real life here, and it is puppies being puppies. If they get too anxious, I will give them a TREAT and see if we can calm them down. I did have another project ready. I had got out my shells, and I had gotten out some things for stuffing my shells, and then I realized I don't have any mozzarella cheese, and I don't have any shredded mozzarella cheese. So with me being injured, I haven't been able to go to the grocery store. So what I'm doing is I'm rotating my freezer, trying to make as many meals as I can, and that way I know that I'm rotating my freezer. And then today I'll put in my new Kroger's order, and the wonderful people that they are, they will deliver to me. And I'm so grateful for that and for the people that do that. But before I get started on my chili, if you remember, if you were watching my live the other day, I made the fettuccine noodles. And I laid them out to air dry on cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil. And as you can hear, they are very dry. So I'm going to go ahead first thing this morning, because like the thumbnail that you've seen this morning, that is not my decorations for fall. And no, I didn't jump the gun and decorate for fall. That is just a photo that I had, that I found and ran across, and I thought that would make a wonderful thumbnail this morning because it does feel like fall. But I do want to try and get my island all cleared off, and these noodles, when they're laid out to dry on the cookie sheets, they do take up about half of my island. And now that they're dry, I'm going to go ahead first thing this morning before I get started on the chili, and I'm going to get these put in a container. So I'm going to bring you over just a little bit and bring you down just a little bit so you can see my workspace. And I have a jar ready, and this is just a large gallon mason jar. Babies, Ryder, Lily, no. Hey, do you need a treat? Do you need a treat? Okay, they need a treat. These mason jar lids have a real nice seal in them, and I do like them, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that to put my pasta noodles in. So if you give me just 1 minute, I will go get a treat for the puppies, and I will be right back. Hey puppies, you need a treat? Hey, babies, you need a treat. Do you need a treat? My goodness, you got so much energy this morning. Mama wishes she had half of your energy. My goodness. Okay, sorry about that. I apologize. We got to take care of the babies. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put my pasta in this gallon jar, and then I can put it in my pantry because I'm restocking my pantry. So I am going to make homemade chili today. I'm going to make some cornbread in the cast iron skillet, and I am going to make a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. Since it feels like fall, I feel like coming in here and making something that will be good for a cool evening, and I think chili and cornbread will be amazing. And so hopefully you can see me and you can see what I'm doing here. So here's my jar. I'm going to move my dishes out of the way for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and put my pasta that I've dried, air dried. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my gallon mason jar. So I hope everybody's doing really good this morning. I'm kind of grateful for this cool weather. It's been so warm. August was warm. July was really hot. So I'm kind of grateful for the cool weather, and I absolutely love fall. So I have no problem with the cool weather. And it just felt like a morning to make a pot of chili and cornbread in the cast iron skillet. Now I'm not sure, I do not remember how many pounds of noodles, pasta, that I made and put in my mason jar. So I do have 4 pounds here that I made the other day using the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker. And I put it out on cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil. And I've let it air dry. And it's been over 48 hours. Or right around 48 hours. And it's dried very nice, as you can hear. So we're going to go ahead and get this put away before I get started on the chili. Because this takes up about half of my island. And with us remodeling, I don't really have a whole lot of space to use in the kitchen. So I try to rotate things as much as I possibly can. These turned out absolutely beautiful. If you want to see how I made the pasta, I did a live the other day using the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker. And I made fettuccine noodles. And I think it was, I made 2 batches. Each batch was 4 pounds. And then I put it out on cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil. And I just allowed it to air dry on my island. Because I'm restocking my pantry. And right now with me injured, I can't just jump in my vehicle and go to the grocery store because the foot and leg is in that large boot up to my knee. And that's the foot that I will be using for the gas pedal. So I'm just rotating through my stock here in the freezer and in the pantry. And I went to make some pasta and realized that, hey, babies, Ryder, hey, come here, look what Mommy's got. You want a noodle? And my babies love these noodles. Noodle. They say, thank you, Mama. Normally, whenever I'm putting my noodles away or making noodles, they love to come in, and any noodles that drop, they just love it. Now, this is 2 batches. Each batch was 2 pounds, I believe. So this should be 4 pounds of pasta. And it will maybe fill up my gallon jar this morning. Ryder, you want another noodle? Here. Hey. Ryder. There you go, Bubby. Good boy. They are just full of energy. They've been full of energy all week. That is going to be the perfect size container for my pasta. I didn't realize I was almost out of pasta until I went to make a whole baked chicken the other night. And I was going to make some chicken flavored noodles on the side. And I got my container out and I thought, wow, I'm going to have to fill these back up. And then I looked and apparently I had not made any pasta. And I had not purchased any pasta. So I made some the other day on my live. And on the live, I had made one batch prior to my live stream. And I had put those in the quart jars and then sealed the quart jars on the live stream. Now today, I'm just using a mason jar. This is a new mason jar. It's a gallon. And it has the seal. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pasta. And look how pretty that turned out. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put it in my gallon jar. And I'm going to go ahead and put some oxygen absorbers in this. Just to make sure that I do not have any more moisture in my jar. I don't think I will. I think they've laid out long enough. They're snapping and they sound very dry. But just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and add, and these are just small ones, small oxygen absorbers. So I'm going to add about 3 in my jar. Ryder, Lily. Hey, babies. Babies, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I know this has a nice seal on it, so I feel good about putting them in this gallon jar. And I'll put this in my pantry, and I'm getting stocked back up. So I'll probably make another 4 pounds of fettuccine noodles. I'll lay them out again on the cookie sheets to dry. And then I will do 1 more gallon. And then I know I've got plenty of pasta put away in my pantry. And that will give me that much more space on my island. Amazing. So anyway, now that I've got this out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the chili and the cornbread. So this is the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker that I used the other morning. This is the noodles that it made. And this is the fettuccine noodles. And I put them out and let them air dry. And they are absolutely beautiful. So if you want to see how I made these fettuccine noodles, I did that on a live stream the other day. And it was called the Pasta and Beyond Pasta Maker. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started on some chili. But first things first, I needed to get these put away. And I wanted everyone to see how absolutely beautiful those turned out. So that's ready to go in my pantry. I have half of my island back. And I feel good about it. Getting little things done even though I'm injured. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, bring you a little closer. And I'm going to start on the chili. And my chili is nothing special. It's just basic chili. And it's cool this morning, so I thought, why not make a big pot of chili? So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands again. And then I'll go ahead and get started on this pot of chili. hope everyone's doing good on this hump day. Happy hump day. And yes, I'm still dealing with the injury. Indeed I am. We're still sporting the huge boot. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can here at home, because I know I'm not able to just go out, jump in my vehicle, and go to the store and everything. So I'm rotating my stock, getting up for a little bit, doing some things here at home, and I'm building back up my pantry. I'm rotating my freezer. So everything's great. And this shirt is perfect for me. It's the little things in life, and it is. It's the little things in life that matter. It doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time, as long as you are doing something and you feel good about it. So I'm just doing the little things right now in life that matter to me and my husband. This way I'm injured, but I'm still making good meals, healthy meals. And so we will get started on some chili. And I'm going to make a pot of chili. And I am going to make cornbread in my cast iron skillet. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. It's a very simple, easy recipe. It's nothing special. I have 1 pound of ground beef. And I'm just going to save myself some time, I'm just going to brown everything right here in this stainless steel pot. It does an amazing job. So I'm going to brown my hamburger, my ground beef. And I'm so grateful that I do things ahead. So I do have some frozen green peppers, because I do not have a fresh pepper. So that needs to go on my grocery list for Kroger pickup, Kroger delivery. And I do have onions. So I thought I have green peppers, onions, I've got burger, and I've got everything I need to make chili. It's a cold morning, so let's make a pot of chili. So I've got 1 pound of ground beef. I'm going to use 1 medium, well, small onion. It's not medium. I'm going to use a little bit of green peppers, which have been diced up and frozen. And my husband absolutely loves the McCormick's original chili seasoning. So that's what I'm going to use for my seasoning. I'll be using 2 cans of light red kidney beans. You can use dark. You can use any brand. This is just an off-brand Kroger. I'm going to be using 1 can of diced tomatoes and tomato juice. And I'm going to be using a 28-ounce can of tomato puree. So it's a pretty simple, pretty easy chili. And then the only other seasoning I'll be adding is a little bit of garlic powder. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get these all started. I'm going to go ahead and get my ground beef started. Let it start browning. And I'm going to get out this wonderful tool. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you have one or not, but these are absolutely wonderful if you're working with ground beef. Kitty is bumping the tripod. It's a new tripod. We're all getting used to it, so it'll be okay. Kitty, you know. I apologize. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just kind of take this and chop it up a little bit. If you need to come closer to the pot, I'll bring you, but that's pretty simple. I'm not doing anything major. That was just one big chunk of ground beef, a pound. I just put it in the crock pot, or in the stainless steel pot, and I'm going to turn this down to a little bit above low, not quite medium. And I'm going to get all of this moved off to the side so I can chop an onion. So let me get out my handy dandy little bag for my onion peeling. And I'm going to go ahead and move the rest of this to the side. As soon as I get my ground beef started, and I'll get my onion in and get my green pepper, I'm just going to let that brown slowly in the stainless steel pot. While that's doing that, I'm going to make some cornbread in the cast iron skillet. So I'll move you back just a little bit so you can see everything I'm doing here. Hopefully I've got me in the frame and everything in the frame. So basically I'm just going to cut me up an onion, add it to my ground beef. And I just thought, boy, it feels like a fall day, and I'm going to make some chili and some cornbread in the cast iron skillet. It just feels like a good meal for a cool day like today. And then I'm going to make a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. And I think that will be an absolutely wonderful meal for this cool morning, which feels like fall. So, my chili is just a basic chili. It's nothing special, nothing spectacular. It's just pretty simple, pretty basic. And this is the way my husband likes it. Now, I will make, if my daughter's here, she likes a sweet chili. And every now and then I will make her the homemade chili like I was raised on, and it's a little sweeter. And instead of adding the chili packet, I think we added ketchup, 1 small can of tomato soup, and then your own chili powder and a little bit of sugar to sweeten it. And but my daughter likes them both ways. Every now and then she'll want me to make chili like I did when she was growing up. So with my husband, it was a trial and error, and he wanted to make chili. So I watched him make chili a few times, and I kind of took his recipe. So I guess this would be my husband's recipe. And that's how I make chili when it's just myself and my husband. And I'm only going to use about half of that onion. So I hope everybody's having a good morning. Are you ready for fall and cool weather? Campfires and pumpkin pies and hoodies. I'm ready for fall. I'm absolutely ready for fall. And I really like these stainless steel cookware. This burger, the ground beef, brown's so nice. And it just saves me from having a lot more to wash. Even though I've got the dishwasher, I'm just trying to take it easy on myself since I'm injured. So I've got 1 pound of ground beef, and now I'm going to add half of that onion. just diced up, chopped up. Now I'm going to add my frozen green peppers, and I'm thanking my past self for today for taking the time. And when I had some extra fresh green peppers, I just chopped them up, put them in a freezer bag, and put them in the freezer. And today when I went to make chili, I was like, oh, I don't have any green peppers, and thank goodness I have several bags like this in the freezer. So I'm thanking my past self for today. Thank you. Thank you for preparing ahead of time, because you never know when you're going to have an unexpected injury like I have today. And it just really comes in handy if you can prepare and have the time to prepare. I'm going to go ahead and leave a little bit in here because I have some more in there. And I'm going to be making another sauce and some breakfast, which I may go ahead and add that. I'm going to be making a sheet pan egg breakfast. And I can add the rest of this onion and the rest of this pepper, some egg, some bacon, and make me a nice sheet pan breakfast, sheet pan. And I've got some biscuits already made, so that's going to be my breakfast tomorrow. So I'm just going to let this saute. I can bring you a little closer. It's just basic. It is just, hopefully you can see that. It is just hamburger, green peppers, and onions. And these lights are a little bit hard so you can see. But hopefully you can see that. Just ground beef, onions, and pepper, green peppers. Okay, I'm getting used to this new tripod, so please be patient with me. Okay, so while that is making, I'm just going to let that saute. I'm going to put this onion in a bag. And I've already got eggs laid out over here and some bacon that's already been fried to make me a sheet pan egg breakfast. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay these over here because I'm going to be making those in just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my cornmeal. And I'm doing it in a cast iron skillet. And I'm just using 2 boxes of Jiffy corn muffin mix. Yes, it's not going to be homemade this morning. I'm rotating my freezer and my pantries while I'm injured and I'm at home and I have the time to do that. So, go ahead and just kind of wipe this off just a little bit. And I'll get started on some cornbread. And when you're using a cast iron skillet, if you're going to make cornbread, you want your skillet to be heated. Sorry, baby. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on, and I'm going to let it preheat to 350 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of vegetable oil in the bottom of my cast iron skillet. I just put in enough to like cover the bottom. And then I just kind of swish it around a little bit. And then I'm just going to put this in the oven and let my cast iron skillet start to heat up with my vegetable oil in the cast iron skillet. So right now I've got the chili started. We've got the ground beef, onions and peppers sauteing. So while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start on my cornbread. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to turn this noisy fan on. Turn on the exhaust. So, I absolutely love chili, and I love cornbread. And so does my husband. Just simple, easy breakfast or dinner this evening. Taking it easy on myself, because when you're injured, you still have to take care of yourself and your family. So this is some little things that you can do. It's simple, it's easy, and the chili can just sit there and cook for a few hours today. And while it's cooking, I can sit back and relax and stay off of my foot. So I'm getting some stuff done here this week. I really am. I got some pasta made, some fettuccine noodles, got them dried. I put away 4 pounds of dried fettuccine noodles this morning when I started my live stream. And I'll let you see what the fettuccine noodles look like that I made the other day with the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker. And no, I'm not affiliated with the Pasta and Beyond, not in any way. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the basic recipe. But if you've been watching my channel, you know that I do a lot of camping, and it's only my husband and myself. And a lot of times, if I get a gallon of milk, we never use that gallon of milk. A lot of times it'll end up going bad. So I keep the powdered milk, and this is the whole milk. And I like the Nestle's. You can get it at Kroger's, Walmart, maybe even Amazon. But it tastes just like whole milk. And so whenever I need milk, I just go ahead and mix it up. It's very simple, very easy. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit of milk in another jar for my cornmeal, my cornbread. See if I can move a few things around here. I don't want to accidentally bump that and knock my dishes off, so I'm going to move those. Because I'm kind of moving easy and slow here this week. But I do like this Nestle's powdered milk, the whole milk. It tastes just like whole milk. My husband likes it. I use it for cooking. I use it for baking. Everything that I've tried it in, I've made several dishes using the powdered milk. And it tastes just like the regular milk. If I didn't tell you I had powdered milk in there, you would not know that I had powdered milk. And this is pretty simple and easy. It's 4 tablespoons. So I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons. It's 4 tablespoons. And then 8 ounces of water. And I'm only going to need 2/3 cups. I'm only going to do 8 ounces of powdered milk this morning. And that'll be plenty for my cornbread mix. So I've got 4 tablespoons of powdered milk. And now 8 ounces of water. And I'm just using bottled water. And if you've watched me before, then you probably have seen me do this. So if you have milk, you won't have to do this step. And this is absolutely delicious milk. It's the Nestle's brand. I've tried some others and I wasn't real fond of them, but I do like the Nestle's brand, whole milk, whole powdered milk, and it smells like store-bought whole milk right out of a gallon. It's got a good taste. It's great for cooking. It's great for baking, and I use it a lot because when I'm camping, I can just take a quart jar of powdered milk and put it in my pantry, and anytime that I need milk, I have milk. I don't have to worry about trying to go to a grocery store, which may be an hour or two away, and it doesn't take up my refrigerator space, because if you've ever been camping in a camper, then you probably realize that camping refrigerators are not very big. Okay, so I've got my milk ready. I've got 2 boxes of Jiffy corn muffin mix. I'm just going to continue to let this saute and brown. I absolutely love these stainless steel cookware because it does such a wonderful job. I can prepare everything in one pot, and it saves me a lot of cleanup. Yes, I'm in the frame and I'm out of the frame, and I am not a professional in any way. So now I need 2/3, because each box needs 1/3. So I need 2/3. I got 2 boxes. Make sure that everything's mixed up in there really good. It looked like there was something there that kind of was not mixed up real good. It makes absolutely beautiful milk. So there's 2/3 cup of milk. And I need 1 egg per box. So I'm going to need 2 eggs. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. And I need 2 eggs. So I've got 2 eggs. And this is just Jiffy corn muffin mix. And I'm going to make my cornbread in the cast iron skillet. And have cornbread with my chili for dinner. So that was just 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of milk, and 2 boxes of Jiffy. I have my cast iron skillet heating up in the oven. And I did put just a little bit of vegetable oil in it, enough to cover the bottom of the cast iron skillet, because I want to heat that cast iron skillet up before I put my cornbread in the oven. So, yummy. It's a cool day. It's been cool the last couple of days, and I'm just making some meals that are, to me, feel like a good, cool fall day. And if you just come in, no, I don't have everything decorated for fall. I did not jump the gun, but I did get my little fall cup out. Happy fall, y'all. That is a picture that I found, I ran across, and it was of my kitchen before we started the remodeling, and we have half of our kitchen remodeled, and that was the half that we've started on, and that was the table that used to set over on that side of my kitchen before we started remodeling. Okay, I've got my cornbread mixed up. Now this is what I do. I have my cast iron skillet in the oven, and it's been heating up, and I've got that vegetable oil in there. So what I'll do is I'm just going to pour as much of that out as I can, and that's still going to leave enough to coat my bottom so my cornbread don't stick. And to me, it helps your cornbread to rise and to brown and just gives it a better flavor. Now, you don't have to do that. You can put less oil in your cast iron skillet. This is just the way I've always done it, and it's just habit. I guess we call it habit. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the cast iron skillet. I'll move it over a little bit closer. You can probably see there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't want to get you too close because I've got this big old boot on. And I'm probably going to walk into this tripod that I'm not used to because I accidentally left my tripod that I usually use at my camper. So basically I just get my cornbread mix in there. My oven is preheated to 350. And then I'll go ahead and get this started in the oven. And that'll probably take about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast it's browning. I just leave it in there till the top browns, and it is done. So hopefully it will be done here in just a minute. Now, my hamburger that I used, my ground beef, was very lean. So I'm not going to drain anything, as you can see. Hopefully you can see. Let me cover that light. I don't hardly have any grease in there at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and start my chili. I absolutely love these cast iron skillets. I love my cast iron skillet, and I love my stainless steel. So I'm going to back you back up a little bit. Hopefully you can see me and the kitchen. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my packet of chili mix, chili seasoning. And this is just the original McCormick's chili seasoning. Let's see if I can move that over. Maybe from there we go. Hopefully you can see the stove and see me. Don't really focus on me, we're focusing on the chili, so it's all good. And this is the seasoning that my husband likes and prefers. That's why I use this particular seasoning. And I'm just going to go ahead and let that, I'm going to stir it in, and I'm just going to let that season a little bit in that ground beef and onions and peppers while I get my cans open. I am so ready for fall. I love fall. It's my absolute favorite time of the year. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see my trash. I'm going to move this over and start running some water in it. And yes, I am messy this morning. I'm getting stuff everywhere this morning. But it will be alright. It will be just fine. Okay, the only thing I have in my stainless steel, not cast iron, stainless steel pot is I have some chili seasoning, green peppers, onions, and ground beef. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some kidney beans. I've got 2 cans, and I'm going to drain them. And I'm using 2 cans of light kidney beans. You can use whatever beans that you prefer. And I always add just a little bit of water and rinse out my cans. Just enough to get all that goodness out of there. And I'm using 2 cans of light red kidney beans. They're just a Kroger's brand. There's no, like I said, there's nothing special about my chili. It's just a basic chili. And I'm just draining the juice off of my kidney beans. You may or may not like to drain your juice. That's up to you. This is going to be an absolutely wonderful dinner. It's cool outside. Feels like autumn, feels like fall. And I'm making a fall meal, chili and cornbread. And then I'm going to make a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. Okay, and now I'm going to add a large can. It's a 28-ounce can of tomato puree. And I'm going to add a 14.5-ounce can of just diced tomatoes in tomato juice. And yes, I use the crank. It helps keep these old hands working, and I have a lot of trouble with my hands. So it's self-therapy. That's what I tell myself. It's self-therapy. So this will be dinner for tonight. And I will also have leftover that I will be able to put in my freezer. And I'll have at least 1 or 2 more meals for myself and my husband, because it's only the 2 of us. So this is a meal prep for today, for dinner. And I'll be able to put some in the freezer and have chili in the freezer, and another day whenever I'm not feeling good, or like right now, have an unexpected injury or something happens, it's always nice to have some freezer meals put ahead. And that's basically what I've been doing, working through my freezer, rotating it, working through my pantry and rotating it and filling everything back up while I'm here at home injured, and I can't really just jump in my vehicle and go do things, because we are sporting a boot up to my knee, and I'm still waiting for orthopedic doctor to call me, and hopefully I can get out of this boot, I hope, and just go down to a wrap. They said they didn't think it was broken at the ER, but they did not like the x-ray. So yes, we are sporting a beautiful new boot. Okay. Now I've got ground beef, I diced a half a medium onion and put it in there, chopped it, put it in there. I had some frozen green peppers, bell peppers. I put those in there. Then I added my chili seasoning, which is just the McCormick's original chili seasoning. And then I added 2 cans of light kidney beans, 1 can of diced or chopped tomatoes in this juice, tomato juice, and then 1 can of tomato puree. So that's all I'm going to add to my chili, other than I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. And yes, I'm not my normal typical self. I am injured, but we are limping around the kitchen and we're getting things done. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of sugar. I don't have any sugar out there. I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar, and just enough to take the tang out of the tomato and the tomato sauce. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. So I'll put about 2 or 3 scoops in there. I just do it to flavor. So later I'll come in as it's cooking and I'll taste it, and if I feel it needs just a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more. But I think that should be plenty. So I've got my noodles put away this morning. I call them noodles, my pasta that I made with the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker this week, and laid out to air dry on my island on cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil. So now I'm just going to turn this down on low and just let it cook slow. So I've got my chili ready to go. Oh, I didn't show you. Oh, so sorry. I'm just not my normal self. I'm injured and I'm trying. And these lights are not very good, so I'll kind of... There, can you see that scrumptious chili? Yummy. Hopefully you can see that okay. So we got the chili started this morning. I have cornbread in the oven, and it's just a Jiffy corn muffin mix. Yes, I'm cheating. It's not made from scratch. But I'm trying to use up everything that I've got in my freezers and rotate them, because normally I'm the one that goes and does all the shopping, and I hate to give my husband a grocery list and put more on him, because he doesn't feel well either, and he's disabled, and it's just something he'll do it. He has no problem. He even said, make me a list, but I don't want to make him a list and send him to the grocery store. So I'll make a Kroger order and I'll have them to deliver. So in the meantime, I'm going ahead and using up my freezer rotation. I had plenty of meats in there. I had a whole chicken. I had a pork loin. I baked a whole chicken. And then what was left over, I went ahead and deboned it. Then yesterday when I made a pie on my live, I turned that leftover chicken into a chicken pot pie. So I ended up getting 2 meals out of the whole chicken. And then the pork loin was a large pork loin. I cut it in half, and I made a pork loin on my live stream, put the other half in my crock pot and let it just cook slow, and I turned it into pulled pork for barbecued pulled pork sandwiches. So I got that done. I had plenty of hamburger in there, and I want to keep it rotating before I get my new delivered from Kroger. So I thought it's cool this morning. I'll make some chili, so that'll be a meal for today. And I can put the extra in the freezer and have it for another day. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the trash, and I'll be right back. So I thought, since I'm making that for dinner, what do I want to make for dessert? So I think I'm going to make a pineapple upside down cake. So my cornbread is in the oven. So I can go ahead and get everything ready for my pineapple upside down cake. So whenever I bring my cornbread out to cool, I can move my cake into the oven. So the first thing I'm going to do, since I'm making a pineapple upside down cake, I've got me a large cake pan, and I want to melt 1 stick of butter in the bottom of my cake pan for my pineapple upside down cake. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started, and then I can go ahead and get it melted. And I can go ahead and get my cake mix ready, get my cake prepared, and then when my cornbread comes out, I can go ahead and put my pineapple upside down cake in the oven, and I will have chili for dinner, cornbread made in the iron skillet, and I will have a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. So let me move things around here just a little bit. Get my mixer ready. I'm going to go ahead and get my KitchenAid set up and get ready for my cake mix. And I'm just going to be using 1 stick of butter. 1 stick of butter. I'm going to be melting that. I'm going to be using 1 box of just yellow cake mix. I'm going to go ahead and put my cake pan in the oven and let that butter start melting. I've got some cherries. One can of pineapple slices. And 3 eggs. And some vegetable oil. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pineapple upside down cake ready, and I need some light brown sugar. Light brown sugar. So while my chili is cooking slowly, my cornbread is baking in the cast iron skillet, I'm going to go ahead and get my dessert started. I can have everything ready, and when I bring out my cornbread, I'll be ready to put my cake in the oven, and I will have dinner and dessert ready. Let's see if I can move that a little bit more, so maybe I can get meat and everything in frame. We will see. So I'm just gonna start getting my cake mix ready. Just 1 box of yellow cake mix. I love pineapple upside down cake. I think it's my daughter's favorite cake. My husband loves the carrot cake. But I like the pineapple upside down cake, and I like the spice cake. So 1 yellow cake mix. Just following the instructions on the back. I need 3 eggs. I hope you can see that okay. Three eggs. And 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I enjoy cooking and baking, and I really love to cook and bake whenever it's cool like this. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. No, that's okay. I just said it didn't look like a third. There we go. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. So this will give me dinner and dessert. You look like I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've got my cake mix ready. I'm going to go ahead and get it set on my KitchenAid. And I need 1 cup of water. So I'm just going to use my same. No, I don't want to use that milk cup. Let me get another cup from over here. Sorry, I got distracted with that comment. I get distracted easy, so. Okay, I'm not really sure what that is. I'm sorry, sweetheart. But it did get me distracted. I almost forgot to put water in my cake batter, in my cake mix. Okay, and 1 cup of water. So now we've got it going. I'm going to check my cornbread in the oven. And it's getting very close. And my butter is melting. I have 1 stick of butter melting in my baking dish, my cake pan. These are going to be for my breakfast sheet dinner, and I have some biscuits ready for my breakfast. And I'm just making a little bit of room here so I can keep moving right along this morning. Okay. I'm going to put my powdered milk away. And I'm going to have a little sip of coffee. So even though I don't feel good, even though I have an unexpected injury, I am still getting it, little things done, and it's the little things in life that matter, right? My shirt's perfect for today. It's the little things in life that matter. So my husband and I will have a nice healthy dinner. We'll have chili. We'll have cornbread made in the iron skillet. We'll have a wonderful pineapple upside down cake. And then, when I first started my live, I was showing you the pasta that I made the other day. And I set it out on the cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil and allowed it to dry. So I put it away today, so I'm restocking my pantry. So I'm getting the little things done. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, but at least I'm getting it done. I'm not going to stress, you know, am I going to be able to get to the store? So this way I can fill up my pantry, rotate my freezer, and wait for my orthopedic doctor to call and get an appointment set up with him to see exactly what damage is done to this foot and leg. And it feels like fall here. It was cold again this morning, and yes, I have my fall cup outfit. No, I didn't jump the gun. I did not decorate everything for fall. My thumbnail was a picture that I found on my photo, and it was of the kitchen before we started remodeling, and we got one half remodeled, partially remodeled, and the new island in. And that table used to sit over on that side, and that was probably the last fall photo that I had with that table. So I thought I would just put that on my thumbnail today since it feels like fall. Yeah, it does. And we're making some meals that are good for a cool day. Okay, let me get that cake mixer going here. My butter should be melted. So I'm going to move you over here again so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see this okay. Bobby still has one brownie left. And yesterday I made the chocolate. They're like a chocolate covered cherry, similar to a chocolate covered cherry. They're called cherry bombs. And the last thing I did not get to do was to show you how I dipped them in the chocolate. I did give you everything that you needed, including the chocolate dip. And then here is some that I have in the freezer, and they are absolutely delicious. My husband has already ate 3, and I've had 1, and they are absolutely, positively delicious. Okay, I have my batter ready. I'm going to go ahead and take my cake pan out of the oven. The cornbread is almost ready, so this is going to be timed just absolutely perfect. Okay, so I have 1 stick of butter that I have melted in the oven. Maybe my island is not level. I'll have to show that to my husband because we're not finished remodeling. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some light brown sugar in my cake pan with my melted butter. And that cake pan is hot, so I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to bump myself and burn. So I'm just going to put a good layer of brown sugar. And I'm just using light brown sugar. You can use whatever you want to. And I'm just going to kind of scatter that. Let me see if I can raise that up again. I need my... Let's see if I can get some of that butter up into that brown sugar on that side. I'll have to tell my husband my island's not quite level. Of course, he will make sure that they come through and check everything. So basically, I just got some brown sugar I've added. I've got a nice little coating there on the bottom. Just letting it blend in with my butter. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I've got 1 can of sliced pineapples. I'm going to drain the juice. And there's just a little bit of juice left in there. And I'll go ahead and add that to my cake mixer. And this is a pineapple upside down cake. So I did not dump all of my pineapple juice. I left about 1/4 of the can. About 1/4 maybe, somewhere in there. And then I'm just going to take this last one and I'm just going to kind of add it right in there, and that way my whole pan is kind of covered with pineapples. And I'm just have that little bit of juice left. Grandma, I'm back. Oh, good. Hi. Glad you're back. I'm just going to add that little bit of extra juice right in there on top of my pineapples. And now I have some cherries. They have no stem. And I'm going to add my cherries. I hope you're doing good. Have you been camping? Yes, we have, but I had an injury, unexpected injury to my foot and leg. So we're kind of waiting for a call from the orthopedic doctor. I did go to the emergency room, and now I'm sporting a very large, bulky boot up to my knee, and I'm waiting for the orthopedic doctor. They did a referral for the orthopedic doctor, so we've just stayed home for a few days, and I've just been piddling here around the house. So, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm just adding my cherries to the center of my pineapples. Making a basic pineapple upside down cake. I think that will go good with the chili and cornbread. And I'm going to get my cake batter. And now I'm just going to add my cake batter right to the top. And my cornbread should be about ready to come out of the oven, which will be absolutely perfect. And then I can get my cake added right into the oven, and we will have pineapple upside down cake for dessert to go with our chili and cornbread. And I just thought that would be a very good meal. My mouth is watering. I think it's going to be absolutely delicious. Chili, cornbread in the iron skillet, and a pineapple upside down cake for dessert. And my kitchen smells so good right now. It smells like chili and cornbread. And now I'm smelling cake mix. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and toss these. I'll be right back. I'm going to check my cornbread. I think it should be done. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. We have cornbread. Oh, doesn't that look absolutely delicious? And we are ready to put our cake in the oven. So I'm just going to level it out a little bit, just give it just a wee bit of a shake, not much. And we'll get this started in the oven. Okay. Bring that cornbread over. Oh, doesn't that look delicious? Oh, so delicious. Oh, thank you. So yes, we have cornbread ready. We've got chili cooking. And I can have an easy day and just let that cook and simmer. Oops, sorry. Need to bring you back up. Sorry about that. This is a new tripod. I'm not used to it. I accidentally left mine at the camper because we were not expecting the accident to happen. I guess that's why we call it an accident, right? Okay. And I don't know if you come on to see the pasta that we made a couple lives ago. And this is the fettuccine noodles. And I made them with the Pasta and Beyond pasta maker because with me being injured, I know I couldn't stand here for long periods of time and hand make my pasta and then roll it and then run it through my crank pasta cutter. So I brought out the Pasta and Beyond. When I did the live with this, I had already made pasta prior and let it dry and was just putting it in the quart jars. So I showed on that live how I stored it in the quart jars, and then I sealed the quart jars with the little battery operated jar sealer, mason jar sealer, and then I made 4 pounds of pasta with the Pasta and Beyond that day on the live stream, and I laid the pasta out on cookie sheets lined with aluminum foil and just allowed it to air dry. And then this morning, before I got started on my live stream, I went ahead and put the pasta in a large mason jar. And this lid has a seal, and I put some oxygen absorbers in with it. So, even injured,